Connect Raspberry Pi with the laptop. In this section, we will show you how we can use Raspberry Pi without connecting it with the display monitor, keyboard, and mouse. Simply, we can use Raspberry Pi by connecting it with laptop or desktop that we are using for our personal use. To use Raspberry Pi with your Windows laptop or desktop, you need to have two softwares installed in it. Let's download it first. Open your web browser and simply search for Putty. Click on the very first link. Now just click on Downloads link and now click on Windows Download. It will start downloading. Now search for VNC Viewer. Again click on very first link. And download it for Windows laptop or desktop. It will start downloading in the system. Once the download gets over, just click on it to open. Both the software needed to connect the Raspberry Pi is now downloaded in the laptop or desktop. First, we will connect Raspberry Pi using LAN cable. For this, we will use the Ethernet IP address that we have set in the interfaces file in our last lecture. Now connect Raspberry Pi with your laptop or desktop using the LAN cable and power on your Raspberry Pi. Now open Putty. For that, click on Start menu and open it. Enter the Ethernet IP address of the Raspberry Pi which you have given at the time of installation, that is 192.168.137.105. Enter the username as Pi and the password Raspberry to log in the Raspberry Pi. At the point of time, we are accessing the Raspberry Pi with the command line interface. To access the graphic interface of Raspberry Pi, we will now install VNC Server in it. Enter the command as sudo apt-get install tight VNC Server. Make sure that Raspberry Pi is connected to Wi-Fi, then only we can install the package. Now to start VNC Server, enter the command as sudo tight VNC Server. Give the password to the VNC server that we will be required at the time when we are accessing it through the VNC Viewer. Enter the password twice and remember it, as this will be required every time when we are accessing the VNC server. Now you are all set to use VNC Server. Now open VNC Viewer in the laptop and enter VNC Server as 192.168.137.105:1 1 and the password same as you have entered while installing VNC server. VNC Viewer is now connected and you can see the graphical interface of Raspberry Pi. Now you can do anything you want to do without connecting monitor screen with your Raspberry Pi. This is how we have accessed the Raspberry Pi with the laptop or desktop using the LAN cable. In the same way, we can access it by using the Wi-Fi IP address of the Raspberry Pi. For that, just open the Putty software. Now enter the Wi-Fi IP address of the Raspberry Pi that we have assigned at the time of installation and enter the username as Pi and password as Raspberry. Raspberry Pi is accessed over the command line interface. Now enter the command as sudo tight VNC server to access the graphical user interface. Open VNC Viewer on Windows and enter the VNC server address as 192.168.1.110:1. Enter the password you have assigned to your VNC server. Graphic user interface is now launched on the screen.